Well, after riding on that BMW, I definitely do miss the quick shifter. I miss the cruise control. I miss the power. But is it worth £16,000? Hello and welcome. Welcome to this video. I'm a little bit scared today. Scared is scared the word. I am apprehensive of how today is going to go because I'm going to go on a test ride of a bike, and it's going to be the most powerful bike I've ever ridden in my life. I've gone on a Hayabusa before, and it's more powerful than a Hayabusa. The Hayabusa had about 190 horsepower or 194, something like that. I know a lot of you with Hayabusas probably say, oh no, super, I've souped mine up, I've got a different exhaust, blah blah blah, it's now 200 horsepower. Yeah, that's fair enough, but the one I had to go on was about 190 something. I'm having to go on a BMW today, the S1000RR, that is 200 horsepower. I know, it's ridiculous, right? So I'm very apprehensive what it's going to do to me, or what I'm going to do to it. The most powerful bike I'm ever going to ride on, probably in my life. Probably the most expensive, because you can get a Hayabusa around what, 13, 14k. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited but scared in equal amount. Now, not a lot scares me, but because I've got excitement in there as well, I think that's all right. Super. Why are you feeling this way? It's probably because I watched this guy's review video, and he was swearing and all kinds of things, and there's just a lot of emotion, and it's odd because he said that he'd only been riding for 5 months. That's odd because the Norwich dealer I'm going to, he says, oh yeah, you know, you've got to be riding for a year. But do you know what I say about that? I say you could ride for a year and only do a few hundred miles. I've ridden for a year and done about 10,000 miles. So I don't know where their kind of policy or understanding is for that. Maybe they think the longer you ride, the more miles you've done. That is not always the case. I was speaking to a Jigsaw rider, you know, like a Suzuki GSXR 1000, if you want to. You must know the actual name. And he'd had his bike for 7 years, and he'd done like 7,000 miles or something on it. Exactly. I've done 8,500 miles on this in a year. I think how long you're riding kind of goes out the window, really. How much you've ridden, that's a big key factor. And also he said something about a £2,000 excess. Again, the guy in the review said, I've got to be careful with this bike because it's a £1,000 excess. They're exactly the same bike. If it's 1,000 or 2,000, still ridiculous. Anyway, I've mumbled far too much. The next clip you'll see is of me in McDonald's. Hello, how are you? Going on your holidays, are you? Don't stop. Da, 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 The fuck is this guy doing? Pick a lane, mate. Pick a fucking lane. Yeah, you work those legs, baby. You work those legs. Well, here I am, guys and girls. Hope you're looking forward to this as much as I am. Probably not. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. My excitement is unbearable. Alright, here we go, guys and girls. Going on the fastest road bike in the world. Just letting it warm up a bit. It's really, really nice. Right, so he said for me not to, I don't need to put the clutch in apparently. I'm already in love with the clutchless shifting. Holy shit, this is good. Right, let's get going. One thing I'm getting off this is it's very, very easy to ride. Bloody hell. This thing right goes. What? Vibration wise, not too bad on the old wrist. Feels very light. This bike is very, very nice. Brakes are not soft, they're quite firm. I've got to try out the cruise control. It's just like going down the gear, just does feel like you are putting your foot into some sand. It's incredibly powerful. You can just, that cruise control is friggin' awesome. So already, I mean, comfortability wise, there is a bit of vibration, but it's very, very slightly more than the 600. You get the heated grips, you get the cruise control. I mean, this is the fastest bike on the road right now. I'm literally living the dream. Yeah, this is amazing. This is ridiculously fast. I'm liking this. That's absolutely crazy. You can easily fall in love with this bike. Cruise control on. You can steer it with your legs slightly. I mean, I don't know whether you'd want to or not. That is awesome. So I've got it at 53. It's not going anywhere other than the road camber. It just gives your right hand a bit of a rest. On a super sports bike, switch it off. Get back on the power. Incredible. It's taken me a bit of a while to get used to this fly-by-wire, like electronic acceleration or whatever you want to call it. It's not by a cable. I can't see a cable anywhere. At least that's what I think this is about. But look how useful this is. Bang. And now you're in cruise control mode. You can steer it with your left hand for a change. It's quite cool, isn't it? You can steer it with no hands. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is what it should be about. That is crazy. That is absolutely fucking crazy. Every bike should have a quick shifter. Absolutely bloody crazy. I still don't feel comfortable shifting down without holding the clutch in. It's still a bit odd for me. I'm more than comfortable shifting up without pulling the clutch in. More than comfortable. BMW have made a monster, an absolute monster. What have you done, BMW? What have you done? Holy crap! This is the fastest thing I've ever been on. Without a doubt. Fuck me! Bloody hell, this is fast. This is easily the fastest thing I've ever bloody ridden on. Ever. Absolutely bloody amazing. You feel like such a bully on this thing though. It's quite comfortable too. You're not that far forward. I mean, I think I'm a bit more forward than the 600, but not uncomfortably so. Like I dial and everything is in such a beautiful position as well. It's such a good bike. My only little criticism at the moment is just the indicator. It's a bit too Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. Let's try her out on some corners, eh? Oh, she's good. She's very good. A bit of coastal road action. This bike is the best bike I've ever ridden. It is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. It's got so much power. The quick shift is just incredible. It sells the bike. So I'm just going to give you my summary and final thoughts of the bike. I've written down a huge list. We're going to start with the negatives first of all. One of the negatives is if you don't like having showers with men, this bike is definitely not for you, because of the prison time really that this bike may or may not give you. Another big negative is the price. It's £16,000. Then you can buy the sports pack, and how deep are your pockets really, because there's a lot of carbon fibre parts that you can upgrade it with. A big issue for me was how hot the bike got. Like, my whole body's hot because my legs are hot. Like, I reckon it'd be amazing in the winter. Around the frame, your both of your thighs, your knees are against the matte black frame, and it does get hot, especially on hot days, and when you sat in traffic. And I was wearing full leathers, so I can only imagine how much hotter it would get if you were just wearing jeans. But saying that, a positive of that would be in winter. It would definitely be a godsend and complement the heated grips, kind of like a heated bike really. Shifting down in gears and finding neutral was a bit tricky. The bike seat height is quite high, so it might be too high for you shorter fellas. The brakes, is it a negative? They're Brembo brakes, which is a positive, but they are quite firm and you might not be used to them. With the traction control and ABS and everything, I don't think it's going to kick you off, but it's just one to look out for. The looks of the bike, when I think super sports bike, I don't look at this bike and think, oh my god, I'm in love or anything like that. And I mean, if you are, that's great, but I just prefer the looks of the other model. Me personally, if I was going to get one, I'd probably go for the black and red one. It's the nicest looking one out of them. For example, I was riding around on the S1000RR, and no one stopped me and said, oh, that's a beautiful bike. When I stopped and for a few places, no one said, oh, nice bike or anything like that. Whereas my friend, who you've seen has been on that Honda CB1000 with the gold and the black, a car driver actually pulled up next to him and said, oh, nice bike, what is it, blah blah blah. You know, you can see it in the videos, and his is just stock really, so that just gives you an idea as well that the magnetism or lack of magnetism for this bike and its looks. What? That bloke pulled over and he said, oh, what bike is that? I really like it. Did he? Yeah. Right. So the prison time that I touched on, this bike, not only will it tempt you to go faster, and because it will, because it's addictive. Speed is addictive to us humans. It's also going to do some pretty hefty damage to your bank balance. Not only the initial cost of 16k, but any potential fines, and then your upgrade, your carbon fibre parts are going to be a bomb. Petrol isn't too bad, considering it's 200 horsepower. It's about, I got it to about 47 miles per gallon, and I did thrash it, did overtake quite a lot. Yeah, one of the negatives is it will tempt you to go faster. It does have safe, and that's a good thing because it's got so much power that you can have safer overtakes, but you will do more overtakes, and so in a way that kind of cancels it out, that it's safer but you're going to be tempted to do more. And I actually believe that this bike is too fast for your average Joe. I think it's best, it's going to really come alive on track. On the road it's a bit of a,
it's going to be not underpowered, but underused. The power's going to be underused. Just looking at the looks there as well, just on a side note, it's got that plastic top on the tank, then it's got a matte black frame, and I don't like the welding on it, and then they've gone for a really bright shiny chrome rear axle. All those three contrasts of colours, shiny plastic, matte black, and then chrome, just all together, just, yeah, doesn't really add to that look of the bike. I think it's I don't know what they're thinking there. So that's the negatives out of the way. I thought I'd brush them off first, and now I'll get on with the positives. The main positives, as Terry Crews would rightly say, is power. It's got so much power. You know, 200 horsepower. It's just slightly over 200 kilograms. With your carbon fibre parts, your full Akrapovic exhaust, which I would strongly recommend you get with it. It is the fastest thing out there. You won't believe the power. Even with the traction control, you'll get a bit of wobble, and the wheel will still come up. And the second biggest positive on top of that is if you do like showers with random men, because again, this may well give you prison time. Another positive is the quick shifter. It is a godsend. All motorbikes should have a quick shifter. It's not cheating, it's not automatic, because you still have to go, move your foot up the gear. You just simply don't hold the clutch in. In an automatic, you just put your foot down and it goes up the gears for you. So it's not like the DCT we're seeing on Honda bikes or anything like that. Another one is the cruise control. I think that is incredible. Why it's taken this long to arrive on motorbikes, I don't know. That's another thing all motorbikes should have. Not for a negative, so that you can, mess about and go no-handed. I mean, obviously I was just showing you that I had it on by doing that. With the cruise control, you can set it at 30 or where there's roadworks or whatever, and then there's a little tab next to it, and you just push it up for up 1 mile per hour at a time, or down 1 mile per hour at a time. And then to get it off, it's quite simple. You put your hands back on, or if you've got your hands already on, just open up the throttle a bit and that cancels it out, and then you can unclick it later, or just leave it clicked. It's completely up to you, but that's a godsend. Heated grips, I'm disappointed that there are only 2 settings. I would have liked to have seen at least 3. I'd like to know how much they would cost, separately, if you were going to buy them, but I'm sure that they would come in handy. Ride position is very comfortable. I said that it was a little bit too forward, but it was very comfortable and very easy to ride, very confidence building. The display is lovely. I do like the white with the LCD, and I like the little gear indicator. The gear indicator is excellent, and also the blipper to tell you when to go up a gear. Not needed that much, I suppose, on the road, and also it does come on quite early. Even if you're in 2nd or 3rd gear, it does light up quite early. So most of the time when you are overtaking, you get this really bright white light, and I can see that could be a pain if you're doing a lot of overtakes, or at night. I could see it, pissing you off a little bit. A big positive: it will be the fastest bike you've ever ridden. If you go on this and you open it up, and nothing that I've been on comes close. With all of those aspects together, and the rider aids and things, I'm going to try and go and have a go on a Yamaha R1, new one, hopefully an R1M at some point, and obviously I'll do a video and give you feedback on that and compare them. Yes, it's 16k, but you don't really need to have to spend anything on upgrades. Like, you don't have to get all the Rizoma things if you don't want to, because the rear brake is beautiful, the rear brake light's beautiful, all the indicators and things are really nice, especially if you get the LED ones, and mirrors are absolutely fine. The only thing that you'd really need to invest in is the crash protectors, which are always a must, and the Akrapovic. you know, try and get a full system if you can, but if not, slip on with the baffle out will just highlight the exhaust sounds, which is another positive in its own right. The exhaust and sounds absolutely lovely. The bike itself sounds nice, but the cracks and the pops and things that you've heard Royal Jordanians, you know, S1000 make are present here, and it's just a very beautiful sounding machine. I'd probably say it actually sounds nicer than my 600 because of the pops and things. Another positive is you get quick and easy and safe overtakes. That's a key thing. When I'm overtaking, sometimes I will put my indicator on, sometimes I won't, but I'll be in third gear probably, or even second gear. I'll overtake and I have to get into third or fourth just after the overtake, or you know, whenever. When you've got that quick shifter, it's so easy if you do need to change gear, if you're getting up to the top of your revs, just to change it, and obviously wave to the person that, you know, you've just passed if they have moved out the way. It means that you can have both of your hands, all of your fingers around the bars as you're overtaking. You don't need to take any fingers off, so you can hold on more. You're more with the bike. You're looking forward. You don't have to look at your speed or your clutch or anything like that. You're just more with the bike, so you can concentrate on that quick, safe overtake. But as I said in the negative, that can be a bad point, because that means, because it's safer, and the power is there, you're more likely to want to overtake more. So that will cancel itself out. More positives, like I said, the exhaust sound beautiful, brake light beautiful, the rider aids absolutely incredible. You got the traction control. The bike really did try and keep me on the road. Yeah, I did get a bit of wobble, but it tried to keep that front wheel on the road. You've got different modes. You've got your race, your sport, and your moist. I mean wet. She knows. Oi oi. And the speed, like, it's so addictive. It just the speed of it can get so fast very quickly. I think I watched one review where they measured it on a track. It did 0 to 147 in about 10 seconds. I mean, this is the closest thing that you can get to like a Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. It's actually faster than that stock, and that's a £1 million car. So you're comparing a 16 grand bike to a £1 million car. So not everybody can afford a 16k bike, but I'm guessing that a heck of a lot more people can afford that than a £1 million car. The handling, like I've said, it's very confidence building. It's a very easy bike to ride. It's a bit odd that it's fly by wire, so the acceleration, that's a bit odd, but you get used to it. The brakes are hard, but they're very responsive, and the mirrors, wish they could fold in like some others do, and it would be cool to have the indicators on them as well, and not have the little indicators coming out the sides. That would also be an excellent change for their next model. So in summary, all of the rider aids and things and the clutchless shifting get you closer to being one with the bike. You get to hold on to the bike more, you get to be one with the bike, you get to look and observe and concentrate on the road and what's happening around you more, and that is safer. However, obviously all the speed and the better brakes and the better handling, they will counteract that. But it is the best bike I have ever ridden. I've ridden many bikes now, a lot of litre bikes and Hayabusa, things like that, and it is definitely the best bike I've ever ridden. It's the best at what it does. If you want a bike that is the best at like kind of everything, this is it. It is the embodiment of power, speed and handling. It is the bike for you. If you're looking for a bike that gives you feedback in terms of everything that a bike should give you feedback from, this is it. But you've got to be very restrictive in yourself, because it can get you into a lot of trouble if you're not careful, and that speed is addictive, and all the safety measures and the rider aids, they're just gonna give you too much confidence in the machine. And so you have to, this bike, I've never felt like I've always felt when I rode it that I've got to limit myself much more than any other bike I've been on. Sometimes the bikes limit you, like my little 300, that limits me. I can rag it, I can really get the most out of it, but its power and all the rest of it, and its position and things like that, will you know, help towards my limits. It is a function over form bike. What I mean by that is, if you want a bike that does everything and everything very well, this is it. If you like the look of the bike as well, which is a bit odd, then it's the bike for you. I've always said, you know, pick a bike that you like the look of, test ride it, and if you like the way it handles and its power and its brakes and all the rest of it, then that's, you know, that's your match right there. This is the opposite way around. You ride it and you really enjoy it and you get the most out of it, and then you kind of try and forgive the way it looks and all the rest of it. But saying that, there may be many of you that just really like the look of it, which is, it's fair enough. That's kind of like my summary and everything like that. I hope it has been useful. I hope you've taken away some of those positives and negatives. I know I've talked for blimmin' ages about it, but I thought that they would be important to you all. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, I suppose.
I can safely say that I've thoroughly enjoyed this test ride of this BMW S1000RR. It has easily surpassed my expectations, and it's just an incredible bike. If I didn't have the 600, I'd easily go for this. If you want to break the speed limit, mate, you can do. It's easily surpassed my expectations. It's the best bike I've ever ridden. Well, thank you ever so much for joining me today.